I'd like to share my journey as a reader. For as long as I can remember, I have loved books. I loved looking at the covers and pictures inside. Before I could read, I wanted someone to read to me. Once I could read, that is all I wanted to do. I have always enjoyed reading and the feeling of flipping the pages of a good book, and I never plan on stopping. Each member of my family has had an important and different impact on my reading journey. I am grateful to them for the love and knowledge that they have given me. My older brother Nicholas is someone I have always looked up to. I wanted to do everything he did. I wanted to be just like him. It was the same when it came to reading. We always had bookcases of our favorite books in our rooms and would go through each other's books and read them together. Still, to this day, I am always asking him what he is reading. He inspires me to read more and to never stop. My dad was the one who really showed me reading was fun. He would read to me before bed every night. I would pick out a book, crawl under the covers, and that's when the fun began. He would set the scene and he did voices for the characters. The voices were my favorite part. I would ask him to do them again and again. The voices he did created fun and happy memories for each book he read to me. When I read those books today, I can't read them without doing the voices in my head. My dad showed me that reading is an experience and should always leave you feeling better than when you started the book. My mom is an elementary school teacher and has always taught my brother and I the importance of reading. My mom and I were in a mother-daughter book club when I was in middle school. That was a time that I realized how important reading was and how you could connect with people over books. You can have discussions and share your love of books and reading. Reading those book club books together is one of my fondest memories. My mom is one of the reasons I chose to become a teacher. As much as she told me the importance of reading, she mostly showed me the importance of reading. The time, energy, and thought she put into what books she bought us and read to us is something that I hope to do for my students and children someday. Reading can take you anywhere, and I know that all thanks to my mom. Looking back, I have marked milestones and ages from my childhood by what books I read during that time. Pat the Bunny, Carl's Afternoon in the Park, and Mouse Paint were some of the books I would gravitate towards as a baby. These were my first favorite books. Contrary Mary, the Baby Duck series, and 4 Valentines in a Rainstorm were my favorite books before I went off to kindergarten and learned how to read. The voices that my dad did were especially memorable in Murmle, 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 The Paperback Princess, Purple, Green, and Yellow, and Chrysanthemum. Once I started school and was learning to read, these were the first books I went for. Throughout elementary and middle school, I could not put certain books down. Each Little Bird That Sings, How I Survived Being a Girl, and Pet Stories are the books that I read over and over again. In high school, while some of my friends dreaded reading, I found joy in it. It's kind of a funny story. The Bean Trees and The Catcher in the Rye are books that I read in high school that I still read today. In college, I began reading books written by comedians. Mindy Kaling, Amy Poehler, Jim Gaffigan, and David Sedaris have helped me escape from the stress of school and to laugh. Christmas time in my house was always a time for reading by the tree. Auntie Claus, Olive the Other Reindeer, and Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree are still my favorites to read at Christmas time. Poetry has always been something I loved, and especially Shel Silverstein's poems. All of his books are still ones that I read today and will most likely read for the rest of my life because they mean so much to me. Books have always been an important part of my life, and they will continue to be. My family has taught me that reading is fun, that reading is important, and to never stop reading. I would not change anything about my reading journey, and without the things I learned from my family, my reading journey would have stopped a long time ago.